Half Dozen Customs. It's been a few days since we have touched these. I told you guys in previous videos that we may be taking a week or two off here to get the Jeep painted. We're still in the middle of that. It is painted, but not done yet. So that's still on the table, but right now it got painted a couple days ago, so it's just kind of sitting and curing and doing all that stuff before we can wet sand and buff. So I'm gonna jump back over here and we're gonna start just wire wheeling this stuff down, and maybe we'll get this painted, or get the one at least painted this evening. So start wire wheeling these, or this one at least, and possibly get them painted. Sorry, I don't mean to repeat myself, but I got distracted there. A squirrel. Okay, let me go get the paint. I have it in the house. It's so cold out here now. I keep all the freezable products or paint products in the house where it stays warm. So I'll be right back. I didn't go get the paint yet. I'm gonna hose this down with some pre-cleaner. I know that there's still a lot of rust on, especially this one. This one was the one that was really bad. But we have grinded it, wire wheeled it multiple times, and we sprayed it with the rust killer. So hopefully, it's good enough. And then we're gonna wrap it. So, and like I said, if this is, if it ever fails and gets bad again, then we'll just put new ones on. So we'll be back with some paint. Okay, I left off with spraying some of that pre-cleaner on there. I wiped it all down. I went and got the paint. I've been shaking it up. So this is the paint. So this is, I got this on Amazon. It's about 15 or 16 bucks or something. It is 4 headers. It has a picture of the header right on it. So it's 4 headers. And the difference between this and just like going to Home Depot or Menards and getting some heat paint, so that the heat paint from Menards or Home Depot or whatever is for like 350 or 400 degrees, 500 degrees, maybe up to 600 degrees. This is up to 2000 degrees. So when you're doing headers, this is what you want to use. If you ever seen somebody that's really getting on it, they can get their headers red hot. So those things get hot. That stuff from Home Depot or Menards is meant for like your charcoal grill, not for this, not for these. Okay, we'll let this sit and dry for a little bit, and we'll get another coat on it. It looks like the way that it's drying, it's going to be a flat black. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. It doesn't say on the can whether it's flat or gloss. But afterwards, it says let it fully cure, and then you need to bake it. So if you don't want to stick it in your wife's oven in the house and make your wife extremely mad at you, there's a trick to doing these, and I will show you guys that. It's not gonna be tonight. We'll probably do it tomorrow. But basically what we're gonna do is I have a heat gun, and we're gonna put it on high, and then we'll set this guy over on my workbench, and we're gonna shove the heat gun up into the collector and kick it on high and just let it run for 20 minutes, and it will heat that guy up and bake it, and then yeah. So we will, I want to put another coat or so on this. And then, yeah, like I said, tomorrow we'll come out here tomorrow, and we'll let this sit and dry overnight, and then we'll come out tomorrow and we'll bake it. And then it'll probably be, so I don't know, not really sure, because because I've been working on this Jeep so much, you know, my normal routine is all screwed up. You know, Monte Mondays are not really happening at the moment. What I've been doing is trying to just spend an hour or two here or there on it instead of working, you know, all day, dedicating one day to it. And the mini truck project has come to a stop altogether. So everything's kind of screwed up right now. All I'm working on is that Jeep. I'm just trying to get that Jeep done. You know, what we may be doing is we may be getting the other one prepped and painted. And then we'll do the wrap on them. Or maybe, you know, maybe when this one's done, we'll wrap it. I'm not really sure. We'll figure more out tomorrow. I think this weekend is supposed to be, we have this brutal Arctic cold weather coming in this weekend, and it's supposed to be like a high of 5 tomorrow, and it's supposed to be 0 on Sunday. So I don't think that I'm gonna be out here too much this weekend because it's just gonna be too expensive to heat. Right now, I have this side kind of open and we have heat coming in over here so that it's warm over here. It's comfortable. You can't see my breath, at least I don't think. No, it's comfortable over here. But my heat has not shut off. It is just running nonstop since we came out here. So it gets expensive. So I don't know what's going to be going on for this weekend. But like I said, I'm gonna get another coat on this. I'm gonna let this sit for probably a good 10 or 20 minutes, and then I'll come over here and I'll get another coat on it. And then we'll see you tomorrow for, at very least, I want to get it baked tomorrow. So we'll at least, you know, I'll show you guys what I do. I explained it. It's pretty simple. You stick a heat gun up the hole and turn it on. So it's not that difficult. But we'll show you guys that tomorrow, and then we'll figure out from there what's going to go on. So I will see you guys out here tomorrow. Have a good night. And yeah, later. Okay, we're back out here on this header this morning. We let it sit overnight. It did get really cold in the shop last night, so it cured, but I'm sure it's not cured enough. You can kind of see that there's like some shiny spots there. I think that is from my pre-cleaner that was left behind in that crack that wasn't dry yet. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. So now at this point, like I said, we need to bake them. It's supposed to be baked at like 220 degrees for 20 minutes. Well, I'm not going to go stick it in the oven in the house, and I don't have an oven out here to stick these in. I have no means of baking them. So a little trick is take a heat gun, turn it on high, and stick it up inside there. So we'll let that go for like 20 minutes. If it starts smoking or something like that, I'll turn the camera back on and I'll show you guys. But like I said, that's pretty much it. We're just gonna stick this guy in there and just let it go. Now we're not gonna get them wrapped today. We need to soak that wrap in water. Let me shut that off for a second because it's awfully noisy. So we need to soak the wrap. I see mixed reviews on it. Some people say, you know, soak in water for, you know, half hour. I've also seen other people say soak it for 24 hours. I think we'll let it soak for the 24 hours before we do it. I think I said in last night's video that it is going to be brutally cold this weekend. It's about 15 degrees outside right now. Tomorrow is supposed to be like a high of 6. So I don't think that we'll be doing anything with wrapping it this weekend, because you soak it in water and then it's all wet, and then, you know, I shut down the heat and we leave the shop and it's just going to turn into a giant icicle. So next week's supposed to be 30s and 40s for all next week, so I think next week's a good plan to do that. So we'll get this baked right now. I'll show you guys what it looks like after that, and then we're probably going to end the video here. And next week's video, hopefully we'll be wrapping this one. So see you guys later. Well, for you guys it'll just be a second, so be right back. Okay, we're back. I did about 35 minutes on it. You can see I have all this stuff set up. So what I did was I propped up the heat gun so that it was like centered in this hole. So when I very first stuck it in there, like, it was just heating these tubes here. Like, these tubes here weren't getting hot. So then I propped it all up so that it was blowing in the center, and then everything got super hot. I knew that it was getting hot because it went from flat to gloss again. You can kind of see, like, these haven't completely gone back to drying yet. You can see that these are like a different color than this, and that's because after I let it run for 20 minutes and it got all glossy again, and then it started to turn back to the flat color, I tried touching, and it got so hot you couldn't touch it. So I know that it got hot enough that it baked it, but these two weren't as hot as these two. So then I dropped it down and just let it blow into those two center guys again. For another 10 minutes. I mean, they were hot, but they weren't as hot as those. And then afterwards, I went around the flange just with the heat gun, going around the flange, because it was hot around each pipe, but in between was not. So I went around with the heat pad or the heat gun, and I just made sure that we got this all nice and hot. You can see where I was pointing at earlier about how I thought that little area in there was from my pre-cleaner. You can see that that's pretty much gone now. So we're just gonna let it chill now, and like I said, sometime next week we'll get it wrapped up. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, we turned some crappy looking headers into some good looking headers again, and now we're gonna make them look even better by wrapping them. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned till next week, and Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays and all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. I'm out.
Oop.